Hello, what's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I would like to show you a couple of new ways that you can use in order to structure your project slightly better. Thanks to the new feature that Figma released in their latest update, now we can nest different folders within each other up to 10 levels. And that's going to help us to organize our project much better. So bear with me until the end of this video if you want to know more. Before we start to deep dive into the detail, I would like to mention that the workspace that today I'm going to work within is the normal, let's say professional workspace, meaning that I do not have an account that has access to features that are available in the enterprise or in the organization level. But worth to mention that there are a couple of extra features within enterprise and organization workspace that helps you to create and manage multiple teams and projects in different ways. As you can see, I do have my own workspace, which you can also see the license next to it, professional. And in this account, I only have one user, which is my own user. So this workspace only have one user in it. If you click on all folders, here is the place that you used to see all projects. So basically, we used to be able to create projects based on the things that we were working on. And in each project, we only had one level to create and store different format of files in that place. Meaning that we could create one project, and then in that project, we could have multiple files in different formats, like Figma design file or FigJam files. But that was the biggest problem we had. So it was very flat and no hierarchy, so we couldn't really nest different folders within each other, which is not the case anymore. As you can see, first thing first, we do not have projects here, we do have folders, which is actually a more common way to structure stuff. So users are all familiar with their own personal computers, how they create folders, how they nest different folders with each other. So that's kind of a good move. And we can create a new folders by clicking on this plus button, write down the name that we want. In this case, I would like to just do a test and give access to this specific folder. For now, everyone in the organization would have access. You can also change it to invite only or everyone with the link or whatsoever based on your need. And of course, you can define a specific permission for every users, which is easy. We had it before for the projects, and invite the people directly. This is also very helpful. So let's say we created now our new folder. In oldest version, if we wanted to work, we had to create our design files or FigJam files here directly in this level. But the difference now is that I can create now another level of folders nested here in my main master folder, so to say. Let's call it design ideation. It really depends on how you really work, like what are the processes you have and how you want to clarify the different phases of your pipeline. But in this case, it's just a test. I imagine that we would like to have ideation phase. We would have, I don't know, high fidelity user interface test, the design phase, or we have a test phase even. So we can separate it that way or any other way that works for your team. But the cool thing is that now we can define different access and different permission level individually for the folders that we nested within the main one. So the main folder that we made can have different access, and this one we can define different access here. For example, here I can change it to people, invite people on, which is going to make this folder more secure than the master folder that we had. So for example, you can invite or you can add all the account that are coming from your client side to the main folder. And here you can just invite a couple of the users that are relevant to that specific part of your phase and process. We could do this before in the organization and enterprise working spaces, but it was also a little bit difficult and not so user-friendly. Now it's very, very easy to do. We can continue doing this up to 10 times. So I can create 10 different folders, like so to say, nested within each other, which I'm not going to do it. I mean, it's obvious that is possible. If you click on this drop-down menu next to the name of your folders, you have a couple of, so to say, functions that you can use. For example, you can copy the link to that specific folder and share within your team, which is very helpful. You can also add this link to the tickets that you are working. It doesn't matter which kind of ticketing system you are using within your team. But instead of adding the whole project, you can just add that specific part. And if you want to share multiple files at the same time. And the rest are very easy. Share with the others, move to trash, rename. But the thing that I like here is also worth to mention is this one, that you can change the color of the folder to something that you want. I hope we get more customization, or the possibility for customization, because if you see, for example, here, I made one project and I add this icon with the star to it, which is a little bit more customized. I don't know if it's possible to do it here. At least I don't see it. So it would be fun to have it as a native feature. And if you click on the setting here, you will have some parts that are very important in my opinion, actually, and it's related to the projects or folder management. Beside the name, we have the description. I really recommend that you fill this section of your folder or your project in a very proper and rational ways. Maybe you say that not so many people are really watching or reading this part, but trust me, when the folder or the project gets so old that you cannot find the people that worked on that specific project, you might have difficult to understand how the structure of the project is and where to find what resources. The next thing that I want to mention is, and I find it very cool, is connecting an external team. Let's imagine that you want to work and collaborate with an external team on one specific project. You might say that, okay, we invite the people from that project to our working space and we start to work together. However, you don't have to do that. You can connect this project with another team and both of you would have access to it, which is very handy if you want to manage the cost of the licenses in your own working space. And transfer and send a copy is also very helpful and handy. Let's say you work on some project and you would not work further on it, so you want to hand it over to your client or in another design team, you can just transfer it easily to another workspace. The rest is also very easy. The rest are things that we expect, like deleting the folder. Actually, that was all about the new ways of organizing our file using the folder structure. But I find this video very nice chance that I explain a little bit further about how you can structure your Figma design file in a slightly better way that everyone can understand what you're doing in that file in an easy way. So this is the Figma design file, and every time you make a new one, you will see the same thing. Basically, there is no title for your file, which you have to change it first of all. So it's one of the important pieces of information that you can provide to your team. It's better that you come up with the proper naming convention later on that gets sure everyone within your team can understand it. First step, properly name your file. The second part or the second section that we can use to organize our file, design file, is the page. And to be honest, this is only place or only section that we have some features that we can use to organize our file slightly better. So we have the folders, we have subfolders within the folders, and then we have our design files. And in each design files, we have pages that we can use to put the relevant information in proper places. I usually structure my files in this way. It's not mandatory, of course, but I find it a nice way to do. So first thing I do is properly structure the page structure that I have here based on the project that I'm working. It might be a design library, it might be a project file, but every project usually starts with the cover, maybe briefing, organization. So there are a bunch of, let's say, organizational piece of information that you want to provide anyone who opened the file. So I usually start with those stuff. Of course, this might force or push the user to scroll down if they want to find the most important part of the file. But trust me, it's going to help everybody find the stuff easier. You can also have all of this information in one place, but I usually do in this way. The next thing I usually do is I try to group the pages that we have in some visual ways. So I use dividers by just writing down 3 empty space in the name of the page and enter. In this way, we can have some sort of divider. And I use all capital text to write down some sort of a chapter or title for that group. Okay, now I have the title, I have the divider. It's kind of visually grouping these pages together. But to make it more clear, I usually use some sort of icons, or better to say emojis. So I select the name of the folder, or sorry, the page that I would like to add emoji to it. And then it depends on if you are using Windows or if you are using macOS, you can use the combination. In the list, you can find anything that kind of describing the part that you want to add emoji. I usually organize it this way. If you actually ask me, my preference myself is not this emojis. It's actually one arrow, which is easier to create some sort of hierarchy visually, because it shows that this, for example, introduction is the title and the rest of the pages are the sub pages of that section. But if you want to use emoji, you can use emoji like this. However, I really recommend that you add some empty space before the name of the page to create, again, a better visual clue that these are nested from the introduction, or they belong to the same section. So I create similar structure for every project that I have. Then you can create the next section depending on what you want to create. It's important that you know that you can use a divider to create different sections within the pages. You can use some tricks to create some sort of a title for your section and group. And then you can also use the empty space before the name to make visually more understandable that which pages belong to which group, and use the icon to bring more visually appealing appearance to your project. And that was it. So in this video, we covered the new ways of structuring our project using the folder, new feature that have been released within the Figma. And I showed you how I usually structure the pages within one design file myself. I hope you learned something new. And if it was so, don't forget to like this video and share the video with the other designers within your team that you believe is going to help them. And don't forget to write down your opinion about this video and the other topics that you would like to see and watch in this channel about in the comment section. Now, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.